Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today in this BTS Talk, in which Osvaldo Alvarez will share with us his vision about tech transformation in the banking sector. Osvaldo has more than 13 years of experience in the software development industry. He has a wide trajectory as an entrepreneur and as a senior level tech executive. He's a global engineer director in Scotiabank, and he has a wide background creating digital experiences that facilitates the lives of customers and optimize the software development operation. At the end of this talk, we'll have minutes dedicated to Q's and A's, so you can write your questions. I will read them at the end. And also, you are invited to participate in our open chat. So thank you, Osvaldo. I will leave the floor to you. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you so
to
much.
interrupt a little. Let's wait a little bit because there are many people entering right now. We are 1 minute before the the scheduled hour, so we must wait for them to
Okay.
enter.
So
Sorry.
do you
Okay.
want to, well, maybe we can do the introduction again?
Yes, it will be nice. Thank you, Ceci.
Great. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today in this BTS talk, in which Osvaldo Alvarez will share with us his vision about tech transformation in the banking sector. Osvaldo has more than 13 years of experience in the software development industry. He has a wide trajectory as an entrepreneur and as a senior level tech executive. He is a global engineering director in Scotiabank, and he has a wide background creating digital experiences that facilitate the lives of customers and optimize the software development operation. At the end of this talk, we'll have some minutes dedicated to Q's and A's, so you can write your questions and we'll read them at the end. Also, we have an open chat in which you can start participating. Well, thank you, Osvaldo. I will leave the floor to you.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you for this introduction. So thank you so much for everybody that is joining this talk. So we are going to talk about digital transformation in a banking industry, but focusing technology. So I have something prepared here for you. So let me see if I can share that. So can you confirm, Cecilia, if they are watching my deck?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So yes, as she said, so I'm the global director of engineering at Scotiabank right now, and I host a podcast about technology in Spanish. So you're pretty much welcome to join anytime. And let me tell you a little bit of history here. Before continue with this, let's make this interactive. So if you have any question, if you have something to say, please write your question, tell all your question, and we can create that more in a more interactive way. So at the end of my talk, so we can basically talk about everything. So the history is, imagine a bank 10 years ago. So there is a lot of on-premise, on-site information. If you want to create an account, if you want to onboard to any kind of services that the bank has, you have to go to a branch. You have to interact with an agent. Anytime that you have a problem in a bank before, you have to go to the place, you have to try to find a solution, and that's a little bit of history. So that was the previous situation that all the financial institution has right now. They have big mainstream and big tech mainframes and different kind of application when they have to maintain all their systems and all their digital services. It was a little bit complex to start providing a digital experience to our customer, because we didn't have the platform, we didn't have the technology, we didn't have all the kind of application when we can provide that information to our customers. So that was before. If we focus right now, everything is different. So basically, right now you can open an account with your app. You can get the support that you need in an app. You can go to internet to transfer your phones, to make payments, to request new products, etc. So basically, sometimes you don't have to go to a branch. You don't have to go to the bank. Everything's in your pocket immediately. And the reason why we are in this situation right now is because we have some enablers, some kind of technologies that allow us to create this kind of experience for our customers. So the first one, for example, is microservices. I don't want to be technical in this conversation, but it's important that you understand what it is and what is the benefits that these kind of technologies enable to the financial institution. So before having microservices, what we have is something called monolithic. Monolithics, you have to imagine, is a huge application, right? When if you have to touch one small piece of the application, you have to make the judgment in that small piece, package everything, the whole application, and you have to upload the new application to the system. The problem with this is there is a huge risk that if you are touching something very specific, you can create an error in another part of your software. And having that monolithic approach is super hard to maintain. You know, how do you split your application, multiple development teams? So that's what we call in technology the spaghetti. It's really, really hard to maintain a software in a monolithic way. And it's really hard to start making changes when you are maintaining one application and you have, imagine, 100 people doing the same code in just one application. So this new approach is called microservices. Basically, what we do is we take the huge monolithic piece and we cut that in small pieces, small agnostic pieces. And every time that you have to create any change to any piece, just you go to that small piece, you make the change and you deploy the piece. So there is no risk impacting other software and another microservices. And this approach is basically where all kind of technology and all kind of solution right now are running microservices. So if you go to Netflix, if you go to Spotify, if you go to Google, if you go to different kind of tech companies, all their approach is based on microservices because the reason that I explained. So the second thing is about agile. And let me put that here because agile is the way that we do software now. So before we didn't do agile. The way that we do is what we call waterfall. So we take 2 months designing a software, 2 month planning, 2 month, 3 month, for example, developing the software, then 2 months testing the software, and I don't know, let's say 3 months deploying the software. So you have in 1 year all those phases, and you have to spend the whole year until you deploy the software. And in that moment is the moment when you need to start talking with your customer, provided the solution to the customer, learning about the experience with the customer. And sometimes that year is too late. So basically, agile, what is enabling us is to start showing value in an early stage. So instead of doing that, why don't we create an MVP in 3 months? We launch the MVP. Probably it's not going to be the full product, but we'll launch the MVP in 3 months, and we start getting feedback from customer, and we understand more in an early stage what are their needs, what they think about the solution, what they request, what they suggest, and then we can pivot our solution in order to start getting that value from our customers. So that's pretty much amazing how right now we can show value in some month, sometimes in some days you can put something on internet and we start getting that feedback from our customers. So that is impressive, and it's one of the key enablers to our customer. Then we have the AI and machine learning, and I know a lot of you are working in the data section here in the technology school, and yes, so before, instead of when we have some needs, what we need to do is start creating all all those software that have a lot of conditional, and you have a lot of rules, and then you have a lot of workflows to, trying to understand what is the behavior of our customer, understand what the customer do in their daily basis, in the transactions, in the behavior with our applications. And right, we don't have to do that. What we have to do right now is to train a model, is to put a machine learning solution, is to start getting information, getting data from our customer, train our model, and then the machine learning is doing the prediction for us. So we don't have to create a software to do everything. We have a machine learning engine doing that for us. And this is very much disruptive all technology, because right now we can be closer to our customer. We can understand, we can personalize our product. We can understand their need. We can predict their behavior. In the past, doing that was really hard, and mostly when you have a lot of customers in your database. Then we have DevOps, and DevOps is pretty much, all this mindset. People say that this is a role. And yes, in most of the company, you have a DevOps engineering or data ops engineering. But right now, what we call this is because this is a mindset. How we can promote this DevOps mindset when the developer operate the software together. In the past, you have development area separating from testing and separating from operation. And when something bad happened, they start blaming each other, deflecting the problem between themselves. And that was really bad culture. And now the DevOps mindset, what they means, if the developer as well, they have into their accountability the testing of the software and the operation of the software. So when that happens, the same developer is capable to fix, to monitoring, and to take action immediately. And that mindset changed all the rules how we create software in a digital organization. Now we have the cloud capabilities. Before, you have the on-premise capabilities, is when you have, a floor in your organization full of servers. When you have to maintain everything, you have to maintain all the problems that you may have in your servers. You have to, buy the hardware, you have to change the hardware, update the hardware, update the operating system, or update the technologies that you have in those hardware. And right now you have the cloud that does everything for you. You only have to pay as you go, and that's pretty much. In some companies, even the whole team disappear. You have to put that team to do another things like DevOps, because now you don't have to maintain everything that you were maintaining, license, operating system, etc. um, Data-driven companies, now the companies understand that if you are not a data-driven company, probably you won't understand your customer. You are not going to take the best decisions. So now the companies in the middle, they have the data, and all the decisions that the companies are taking is because the data, and that change everything. So because right now all the decisions and the personalization that you are doing in your applications is focusing your customer, which take me to the next step, is the customer experience. How you can create something that delight your customer, how you can create something that the customer love, how your customer feel that you understand their problem, their needs, and you're providing solution to that. So that pretty much is the enablers and all the new concepts and sometimes technology that are creating this digital and technology transformation. Right now, what's happening is everything is faster. And as one of my friends say, the best CTO that all the companies have had in the last year is this situation, is the pandemic, is the virus. Because now the digital acceleration, you have to put the accelerator in that. If you don't provide digital solution to our customer when you have a lockdown, when you have a quarantine, when everything is closed, you're not going to be doing business. So all the companies are making the whole switch to have a digital transformation and providing digital solution. In our case, I can tell you, all our KPIs about digital adoption in our customer are, before this is going, up all the time, because right now customer, they prefer to use digital channels instead of going to the branches on site to talk with to an agent. So this situation is not ideal, but most of the company are providing their solutions in a digital way. Then we have the blockchain. And why I say blockchain and I don't say crypto, because I do believe that the huge disruptor here is the technology. It's all the technology. I'm not going to explain what is blockchain here because it's a huge concept. But what you have to understand about this is blockchain is a system that is not centralized, right? So you can create a blockchain that nobody governs. It's 100% distributed. So you don't need to have something in the middle taking deciding the regulation, deciding the governance of the model. But in other case, you can do that. You can have a private blockchain when you can decide some rules and you reuse all the magic about distribution and the centralized technology, which is the huge disruptor here. Above the blockchain, you have the cryptocurrencies that are doing a huge disruption in our system and our ecosystem as well. So you can have a lot of fintechs based on blockchain, based on crypto, that are doing a really good job as well. And they are creating a new technologies all the time that all the banks are reusing this kind of technology to provide different kind of solution for the customer, for their customers. And the challenge that I can see right now in the financial institutions, I will say is one acceleration. And the reason why I say acceleration is because now you are watching all the fintechs company, startups, and tech giants creating financial services. And previously the financial institutions were this kind of bureaucratic companies when you have a lot of regulation, a lot of security, a lot of process that make you go a little bit slow if you compare this with this kind of competition, not with the bank. And one of the things that I love going to another point is becoming a tech organization. For example, in our company is, for example, our CEO, he say, we shouldn't be a financial institution. We should be a technical company, a tech institution that offer financial services. And I love that because it's a huge change. So the DNA of your company should be technology, and you're providing tech financial solution to our customers. So right now you can have a lot of fintech that when they don't have even one branch, you don't have to go to any place. It's 100% online, and that's a huge disruption. And I can see that all the banks are going to that direction, and with the time you're going to have less branches and you're going to have more digital asset. So the third challenge is avoid the spaghetti. And what I mean avoid the spaghetti is when it's not only in the financial institution. I will say it's all the big tech companies. When you have a lot of solution and a lot of technology asset, it's really hard to maintain everything organized. And sometimes you are creating bottlenecks and dependencies on another kind of micro solutions that if you don't plan accordingly since the beginning, you can start creating that spaghetti. So for that reason, you need to have a strategy for reusing software. You need to have a strategy to create that element. As we said at the beginning, you need to start splitting your application in small pieces that you can maintain each one of these, and you can start creating this beautiful architecture asset that allows all the companies to move faster, to grow with technology, to replace some element with new technology, with modern technology. And if you plan that since the beginning, I think you're going to be in a good position to be faster in the future. Um, I don't like to talk too much about the future because I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I can tell you what is the trend right now. So the trend is more digital capabilities, having imagine that catalog of small pieces. The financial institution is putting more pieces, using more technology, using more the cloud, using more the cloud as a development tool as well. The use of more AI engine that is replacing software. So right now you have models that are already trained and are doing prediction more accurate and more faster than if you were doing the software. So the rise of AI and machine learning, it is happening right now. It's going to happen in the future. You're going to have more of that in the financial institution. And I will say the open banking. Open banking means that imagine that the bank opened their APIs to fintechs, to third parties, to another applications, to different kind of solution. And then you are providing one services that can connect with another service, and basically you are part of that ecosystem. In the same way that Facebook is providing APIs for login, or Google is providing API for the different internet solution, I will say the bank is going to start providing this kind of service. So if you are using X platform and you want to pay with your bank instead of using, the transfer, whatever, you're going to have a button in that platform that is going to connect automatically with your bank and do all the logic that you will need. So the open APIs and the open banking concept, I think, is something that is happening right now. It's going to happen more in the future, and it's going to be the way that the bank is going to be connecting all their solution with the third parties. So having said that, this is a rush introduction about what's happening in the tech transformation, but I would love to hear about your comments, your questions. Let's make this interactive so we can go deeper to any kind of the concept. If you don't understand something that I put here, so please let me know. So happy to answer your question. So I hand it over back to you, Christina, and if they have any questions, so let me know.
Thank you very much, Osvaldo. Yes, we have a couple of questions here. Um, what are the other uses cases of AI and machine learning at Scotiabank?
Mm, good question. So imagine right now how we can we have a project uh, that is basically understanding all the interactions that we need to do with the customer. So when we have to do that interaction, in what channel, what kind of information should we provide? Is that person having a credit card? Can we increase the limit? Can we provide another credit card? Do we have a suggestion about another product that we have in the bank? And all those interactions, it's not a human being. It's not even a software that we create. It's an AI engine. Then it's detecting all the information about the customer, all the interaction with our application, we learn about different customer like that person, and we can start providing that kind of interaction in multiple channels. So the beauty of this is when you are having this kind of technologies, you can plug different channels: the call center, the digital capabilities, the app, the web, the farmers application, even the branches. And when you open the account, when you open in the CRM the customer that is coming here, you can provide the same information in multiple channels. So that's the beauty of AI, and that's one of the use cases that we are using. We have a lot of multiple cases, even for development. So we are using AI for development purpose, which is something really much, pretty much amazing.
Thank you, Osvaldo. We have another question. Hello, Osvaldo. Currently, digital first banks offer their services without branches. Everything can be done via apps in iPhone. What would be the next big thing in the development of banking industry based on technological enables?
That's a hard question because I don't know what's going to happen. Um, I think that the self-service is going to be for sure something that you will see in all the banks. Digital first bank, as you say, is going to be one of the key enablers for the bank. But imagine this: what I think that's going to happen is you're going to have more companies, small companies, really fast, creating amazing products as well. I think the tech giants are going to join the financial industry as well. So the banks and the financial institution has been here for, I don't know, 300 years. I don't know when the bank was created, to be honest, but for a long time. And since all the time, all those banks needs to adapt and change with the situation. And I don't know what's going to happen with our financials and our economy, but I will say that the way that we transact and the way that we interchange value between countries and between people, maybe it's going to change. And I'm 100% sure that the bank is going to be part of that change.
Great, thank you. Another question. Can you elaborate more about open banking concept with a specific examples, please?
Yeah. Yes. Let me give you an example. In Scotiabank, we have one place, one Scotiabank in Colombia. And in Colombia, there is one app called Rappi. Rappi is kind of DoorDash, Uber Eats, this kind of application where you can provide, you can request some deliveries to your house. You can order food and you can order supermarket orders, and they deliver that back to you to your house. So in Rappi, if you go to Rappi and if you want to request a credit card in Rappi, so all the UI, everything that you are watching in that application is in the Rappi ecosystem. But in the back, Rappi, what it's doing is talking with Scotiabank APIs, and Scotiabank is providing the credit card, is providing all the information, and Rappi basically is the front end. And the way that we do that is because we have an open API for Rappi, and we have different customers using the same API to request credit cards. So basically, what we want to do is now, if you want to have your own credit card with your own design, you can do that, but you don't have to take care about the credit card business because we know the business. We are the expert in the business. We have all the technological capabilities and the people that is going to support that business. So you can open your credit card, your layout, your design, whatever, and we operate that. And we provide one API for all the people that want to do this kind of situation with their customers. And in that way, we are providing more APIs from different use cases that we have. And that's what we call open APIs. right? When you're exposing your services as a bank, the bank as a services, as a technology services, when all different fintechs, company, even user can start creating their own application connected to that API. Please let me know if that makes sense. I know if you're not technical, it could be a little bit complicated, but yes, you're exposing your services in a technical way with APIs to third parties, to external, not only to internal use, to external.
Thank you, Osvaldo. Another question. What do you think about banking as a service? Cloud solutions offering on market?
I don't understand the question. Bank as a service is basically what I say about open API when you expose the bank as a service. But the cloud, can you repeat the cloud question?
Yes. What do you think about banking as a service? Cloud solutions offering on market?
Wow, I don't understand the question, but let me guess. I think the bank as a service is something that all the banking are trying right now, having these environments for developers when you can provide. Imagine in our case, Scotiabank for developers, and you can invite all the developers from all the world to start playing with our APIs. And of course, you have to use the cloud. The way that this work is when you have to put all your digital assets to the cloud. Sometimes the only way that we need to put something on premise is when we have a regulation that protect the data of our customer, and the data should be in some places specifically. In that case, we need to use or a private cloud, or we need to use the cloud in certain location, or we need to use on-premise solution. If I don't answer your question, you can rephrase your question, and I try to answer again.
Okay, we have another question, Osvaldo. How is the neobank will affect the established bank like Scotiabank, and how the established bank should react?
I don't understand. Can you say that again?
Yeah. How is the neobank will affect
Neobank.
the established bank like Scotiabank, and how the
Yeah.
established banks should react? Thank you.
We have a neobank. So if you go here in Canada and you Google Tangerine, I don't know if you have seen the Toronto Raptors that they have the Tangerine brand here. So that's from Scotiabank. And it's not affecting. I think it's a different business, but at the same time, I think it's the same concept, right? When you have a digital first bank, and you can provide a faster solution to your customers, I will say that the bank with the time is going to have most of that features, and they need to adapt in that direction and with the same speed with the neobank. So I will say that it's affecting. I will say it's complementing. Sometimes a different target, a different segment to our customers, and sometimes those neobank are backup with a bank, providing a different kind of user experience, user interaction, but it's not affecting, I will say.
Thank you, Osvaldo. We have another question. With the rise in digital capabilities of banks, how hard it is to maintain data protection for all customers?
Um, it is hard, but what you need to have is one, the right people, two, the right data governance structure, and three, you need to have the technology that back everything up for you, because the technology for data protection already exists. And imagine in a bank, right? So you have to comply not only with your customers, so you have regulators, you have internal regulators, you have knowing your customer, the KYC process, if you have the audit team all the time protecting our customers. So it's something that we need to take care 100%, and our data team is using the proper data structure to protect our customer data. It's a hard process, but I think it's something that we need to put first our data privacy all the time and start giving that solution to our customers.
Thank you, Osvaldo. We have another question. What do you think about big data as a way to the future in the bank business?
Yes. The thing is, big data is, I think it's a marketing word. When you say, for example, artificial intelligence, there is no artificial intelligence. That's a marketing word, to explain that you can do machine learning, that you can train system, that you have the Internet of Things, you have different system reacting based on the customer data, and BI and big data is the same thing, right? So you have different kind of teams and expertise inside of the big data umbrella, and in my opinion, everything related to data is going to be the future. With the rise of this new technology based on machine learning, and how this technology is with the time doing a better job, having better accuracy, better prediction, better technologies. So right now, for example, you have different tools like Data Robot or SageMaker Autopilot, when you don't have even to create the model for your software, for your training system. You already have a preset of different kind of auto machine learning models, and when you put your set of data and your set of output, that's the same tool is going to pick the model for you. So all those process about machine learning, the cloud is doing a really good job, the cloud providers, in giving you tools to do this faster, with a user interface in a friendly way, and you don't have to start having this kind of roles, or a specialized role like data engineering or data science, to start doing some proof of concept. When you have to create something a little bit deeper, a little bit more complex, then you can bring those roles. And the thing is, in the future, we are foreseeing different new roles that is coming to the data in industry. So right now we are hiring, for example, trainers, that are the people that is training our models. We are hiring explainers, that right now you have some models taking any kind of prediction or taking decision, or doing this kind of probability and predictions, probability based on predictions based on probability. So you need to have explainer, people that can explain to regulators and to different stakeholders, even to our customers, why a machine take X decision. Because when you have a lot of data and you have those machine taking decisions, it's going to be really hard to understand why a machine did that. So you need to have the proper people that understand everything and need to explain why a machine took a prediction. And then you have the sustainers, and the sustainers is basically all the people that is around the ethics and are around to all the our machine learning models, and trying to predict that something bad is happening in that, right? So when you have right now, you have even auto machine learning, when you have a machine creating the machine model, so it's the machine of the machine. So what you have to prevent, and what's happening in the future, is you want to prevent that machine is doing something bad, or you want to prevent the machine take train any other machine in a bad way. So in that case, you need to have the sustainers, and to make all the machines always to be accountable to humans, and that's something that we are taking care really taking care here all the time.
Thank you. Another question. Do you think cryptocurrency is going to replace traditional currency?
That's not a question for me. I'm a tech guy. Um, uh, uh, of course, I have my belief, but I'm not a financial guy. I'm not an economist. I'm a tech guy. I love the cryptocurrency technology, the blockchain, the everything around distribution systems, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I think there is a lot of variables based on our economy, and experts I think can take a better prediction for that. I'm not the person to answer that question.
We have another question related to this. How do you think banks should respond to the actual boom that cryptocurrency is having?
Same answer.
Same answer.
Same answer. I don't know. What I will say is all the banks are adopting the technology. So you have blockchain in all the banks, but the crypto um, is not my fear.
Great, thank you, Osvaldo. And I think we have the last question. You mentioned Scotiabank is using blockchain. How easy is to implement it in countries like Colombia, where there is not much knowledge or technical capabilities about this technology, and is not even regularized by the government?
It's not true. And we have a lot of good people in Colombia that understand all the technology. So first of all, the blockchain technology is something, it's not something deep. It's, in fact, it's really easy. You can, if you know JavaScript, you can do blockchain. Right now, if you go to AWS, if you go to Azure, they have a blockchain solution already in place. You can create the solution. The point is, if you want to create an open blockchain, or if you want to put crypto in the blockchain, then you need to have the regulations, and you need to have everything related to that. But if you want to create, a blockchain inside of a Scotiabank, let's put an example, when you can have all the chains of document that are coming, for example, to our sourcing department, and you have the distributed system in the same company, and all these decisions that that team is doing needs to be checked or approved by three other people in the network. You can do that based on blockchain. You don't need to have even regulators because you are doing internal things. And you can, as I say before, you can create a private blockchain when you can create different kind of solution for your customers, but in internal phase. So yes, you are using distributed system, but you control everything. So you can create a private blockchain for that. I think your question is more open blockchain, and it's a different challenge.
Osvaldo, this is getting more and more participative. We have more questions. Does Scotiabank outsource many aspects of their digital capabilities, or are more of these digital capabilities developed internally?
Yes, we have the concept of digital banking and digital factories. And we have digital factories. We have one digital factory here in Toronto, in Colombia, in Mexico, in Peru, and in Chile. And basically, we have pretty much a bunch of developers there, and really good people doing a really good job at creating solution for our customers. So basically, we create all the software that we need to provide to our customers.
Thank you. For people who are interested in pursuing a career in data science for banking in Spain, is Spanish language a must or English is enough?
In Spain, I know nothing about Spain. Sorry. But I gotta tell you this: if you want to be in the tech industry, you need to learn how to speak English, even in a bad way, like I am speaking right now. But you need to learn how to speak English. If you don't speak English, I think you are gonna be stuck at some point, because first of all the documentation that you're gonna learn is going to be in English. Secondly, if you don't learn English, you're gonna be basically providing solution inside of some countries, and the most of the tech providers and the tech capabilities are based on non Spanish speaking community in US, whatever. So you need to speak English. So if you don't speak, that's my suggestion. You have to speak English.
Thank you, Osvaldo. And I think we have the last one. Is Scotiabank interested or you in new startups that are innovating in certain sectors like education, investment, acquisition, acceleration?
Yes, in fact, we have an innovation department that is investing in new companies. And we have a fund that when the bank, when they see a good opportunity, they are investing in different kind of startups and initiative, that are related to our goals. And yes, they have that strategy as well.
Okay, thank you. I think we have another question, but from Martin.
Yeah, I'll have to take out my maternal side, and I want to ask a question for our students. As you know, they are reaching to the end of the master, and they are willing to start their professional careers in the real world. So I would like to ask you, as a manager, uh, if you can give them an advice on how, which are the skills that you as a leader of a group will try to look into in a profile for hiring people now in your to include them into your team. And yeah, basically that, what kind of skills do you think they must be up in, of course, and not only the tech skills but the soft skills, or what kind of skills do you think they must start preparing themselves for the real world?
We are look. Oh, I'm looking. Um, 50% technical skills, 50% soft skills. If you are unbalanced, probably you're not going to be a good option. So when I mean in the technical skills, depend of the area. If you're a developer, you need to have a good fundamentals about computer science. If you're from data, you have to understand, the fundamentals of data. But you need to have all those hard skills depending of your field, and you need to train that, and you have to specialize. That's gonna be my first suggestion. You have to specialize in one technology. You have to specialize in one field specifically. When you know about a lot of things, but you are not specialized in one thing in particular, probably you're not gonna be the best option to hire people, to be hired. Sorry. And second, in the soft skill, which is something really important. In fact, let me tell you something. In my podcast, you can go to the podcast and look for the episode about soft skill. We create an episode based on the soft skill, and the reason why is I don't remember the numbers, but I will say that there is a statistic that say that I think it's the 90% of the
Recruiters.
promotions
Mm.
that happen in a company is because of the soft skills and not the hard skills. I don't remember the number, but if you go to the podcast, you will see. And that's really important because I will say the way that you get noticed in people, to in those kind of company, in tech company, is when you have something different. And the problem with the tech people, with ourselves, if normally we love to be, in our computer coding. We don't want distraction. We don't want to talk with people. It's more like a private work. You need concentration, and we need a lot of people with soft skill. We need people that know how to express visual communication. We need people that knows how to influence people and teams. We need leadership. We need people that know how to talk in public. And when you are in a tech company and you have to move things around, you need to find those kind of people, and it's really hard. So if you know how to masterize your soft skills, or if you are really good in your soft skills and you can go deep in one technology, of course you're gonna have a brilliant career. So that's my suggestion. I will say take both into consideration, but pay a lot of attention to the soft skills.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us in this very interactive
Oh,
BTS
my
online
pleasure.
talk.
Anytime, anytime. Let's keep connected. So please, if you want to connect with me, here's my LinkedIn. So happy to answer all your questions, and I'm pretty much